Welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I just want to say that if my brother gets to watch this, my youngest brother, call me again, please. Please reach out. I'm sorry I missed the call yesterday. I got your message. Hopefully, this gets to you. I don't know how it would, but if Kahuna, you're watching this, I implore you, call me again. Call me again. I'll even turn my ringer on. All right, now that that business is out of the way, the most pressing business taken care of, welcome to the live stream. Are we in for economic collapse? Well, I'm no economist. I do have a stock or two. Yet, contrary to popular belief, the stock market has nothing to do with the economy. The vast majority of stocks held is by BlackRock. I think they hold most of the cards, folks. But what is going on right now is not normal. And if you see, I keep reading articles like $200 billion of wealth eliminated from the oligarchs that were at Trump's inauguration. Bezos, the Google guy, Zuck, Elon. Like, their wealth is being eradicated right now. Absolute dumpster fire. And that's them. They can afford to lose $200 billion and still, they'll still eat lobster. Or is that going to be a peasant food again? I don't know what rich people food is now. It's probably something we haven't heard of. It will trickle down to us, I'm sure, at some point. But I mean, they can lose articles down below that I plan to talk about. We might go off course, but there was an article I read that said the wealth lost by all those rich people in that photo where Elon Musk is always just looking weird. He's just looking so awkward all the time. The wealth lost by all those people at Trump's inauguration is over 200 billion right now. If you look at the stock market today, it's all red. Everything's red. Everything's tumbling. And I'm just going to talk simply because, again, I'm not Gary's Economics YouTube channel. I'm not a trader. I'm not a Wall Street bettor. And most of the people on YouTube aren't either. I know people maybe get an inheritance and like to dump it into stocks and then pretend like, there's some fucking Goodwill Hunting math wizard genius trader, but you're not. You're just not. I know smart math people. I knew my best friend's one of the math wizards. And those people are not, they're unicorns, okay? And you ain't it. You ain't it. What up, Boogie? WSP. What's up? Kathy, good to see you, Kathy. Oh, Jesus, Hugh. Change the name, buddy. Go on to your real account. Keisha, can you read my comment, please? Yes, I can. You're welcome. All right, if you're just joining, hit subscribe. I'm glitching, sorry, glitching. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm Rob, and I do a live news commentary show every weekday. The economy. The stocks are absolutely plummeting. And maybe you hold, 100 stocks. Maybe you're selling calls and puts. Most people are just not that deeply invested into the stocks, okay? Maybe your retirement is. But hey, what's up? Oh, Jesus. Yo, you got to change that name, homie. And I'm not even kidding. We got an American growing one of those. But I just want to talk in simple terms, just simple terms, on how this not normal stuff is happening and how even the wealthy are losing. Like the wealthy who Elon Musk put $300 million into Trump getting elected, them rigging the election, spreading misinformation. Like they put $300 million, more than we'll earn in our lifetime, all of us combined, every person in here. That's how much they put to buy the election, and they've lost over $200 million. The stock market is tanking. And by the way, you can help. You don't think that you can't do something at home. You cannot buy Tesla. You cannot go on Twitter. You cannot buy a movie on Amazon if you're going to rent or buy a movie. You can do the little things that matter. The little things that the wealthy people count on us all to do is give us a little bit of money. If all 300 million people in the U.S. are giving them a little bit of money every day, makes them very wealthy. And we could just refuse. We could spend our money more consciously. But when you're seeing what's going on, and again, I'm going to say this many times, I just want to talk about the most basic of terms. The most basic of terms, okay? What Trump is doing, never mind Zelensky, but just reading about Canada, okay? And I love Canada. There's some great YouTubers who are up in Canada that I've, become virtual friends with through this platform. And when you think, like, imagine having a friend in Canada. How long have we been friends with Canada? Century now, at least, right? Maybe a couple. Well, we have the French-Indian War. Was that with Canada? Anyways, we've been friends with Canada for quite a while. And could you imagine just start picking a fight? Imagine one of your friends, right? And out of nowhere, you're like, well, now I got some power. I'm doing better. I'm not going to jail. All the situations that Trump's in, right? Imagine you get a rich friend who will finance your every move, makes you feel invincible. And all of a sudden you turn around to that friend who you've been friends with forever, and you were like, you know what? I'm going to start bullying you. Any normal person would be like, what the fuck is going on? And remember, what I'm describing is happening on the world stage. And it's like for no good reason. It's just to stir up. And then you see every outlet there is just being like, well, are we headed for a recession? Yeah, we're about to get real bad, folks. And I'm not doom scrolling. I'm not trying to get anybody to, think like, oh, things are bad. But it's like we're already living in the bad times, because if Canada's threatening to shut off electricity to America, like, you never fuck with the people that, control the heat. You always got to be a little respectful. You got to know where the heat and electricity comes from. God damn, but listen, if it's not the most genius move, if Trump really wants to start a revolution, if he really wants to spark the working class into movement, into activism, all he has to do is fuck with Canada a little more, have Canada shut off the Wi-Fi to our country, and we're done. I just want you to think about that, right? They shut the electricity off. And I mean, this is the most basic layman terms. It ain't happening like this. But could you just imagine? They're like, we're gonna power you down, America. And your Wi-Fi goes out. And you're like, hey man, what's going on? There's no power? I ain't got no Wi-Fi. What am I gonna do? Where are you gonna focus that energy? And speaking of focused energy, did you see Trump's post on Truth Social? I'm not on Truth Social, but I do go on Reddit where people repost it. Trump is complaining that, well, he's saying he's going to buy a Tesla Cybertruck, which I can only hope he drives it. I can only hope that Trump, if you're listening, I want people's dreams to come true. Just like I've said with Elon. Thank you, CJ. Just like I've said with Elon, he wants to go to Mars and he wants Neuralink. I want Elon to get a chip in his brain and for us to send him to Mars. I want people to fulfill their lifelong dreams. If we could get that guy on one of them spaceships that we just saw launch the other day, let's put him on there. Let's get Elon on one of them ships. Put a chip in his brain, he won't feel a thing. He'll go right to Mars. But with Trump is blasting out on his Truth Social network, which is a joke of a platform. It's like propaganda.net. To the moon. Kathy, that's an old reference. To the moon with you. That threw me off. But Trump is posting on his own social media, so you know how that goes. And it's just incredible at how he looks at things. He says, I'm going to demonstrate my faith in Tesla because Tesla's stocks have tumbled. They have tumbled. That company was way overvalued to begin with, like valued 4 times, 5 times more like than the most lucrative car companies. So it's obviously inflated. It's a fake price. But Tesla has been tumbling. People are selling their stocks, selling their Teslas. Get rid of your Tesla if you have one. Don't buy one. But Trump says that he's going to buy a Tesla. And if that's what Trump wants to do, he wants to demonstrate his faith in the Cybertruck, then I can only implore him to also drive it. And also, Trump, put it into self-driving mode. If you have such faith in it, You know, buy one, drive it, put it in. You don't even need to drive it. I heard those things drive themselves. So do it. You know, walk that walk, baby. Show us your character. Don't just say it. Do it. Buy a Cybertruck and drive around in it. One small step for mankind, one giant leap for Elmo. I mean, it would be a giant step for mankind if those wealth hoarders would leave this planet. All of them go. But in Truth Social, Trump's post, he said the radical leftist lunatics are illegally boycotting Tesla. And that is similar language. I just want you to think about this. I don't care who hears this, okay? Because there are people right now that were pardoned for January 6th that are okay or maybe considering that Trump is now trying to criminalize thought crimes. Other people who participated in organizing protests, other activists, who were no means part of a riot like the J6ers were, which that was a riot. You know, there's video of it. But if you're all for protesting and activism in America, then you should understand that that's, you know, that is one of our rights. I call it a privilege, but. And same with Elon, when all the advertisers left because it turned into a white supremacist platform, and he called it an illegal boycott, which, think about just that terminology. Boycotting something where you would pay them money and it being illegal. So what are you saying? It's only legal if you pay him money? Like, think about the what a psychopath you have to be to think that if you boycott my products that are provenly more dangerous than the Ford Pinto, the car that was known to explode, if you boycott those, that is illegal. That's the president of the United States saying that. An illegal boycott, he called it. So if you're not spending your money on their crap products, they qualify you as a lawbreaker. It's insanity. We need to keep the pressure on Tesla till Elmo has to sell it. He would just sell it to the Saudis. What's up, Jacob? First Amendment, baby. That's right, CJ. But we're living in a time, we're on the precipice. You know, the economy is doomed. Think about, this is the other thing, just common sense, folks. Think about all the layoffs happening, not just in the government, but I'm reading about more radio layoffs. I'm seeing people. Listen, I got friends in radio, and I hate when they get laid off. They write these like cryptic, but not cryptic, but like very much ass kissy posts. Like, today was a productive day. It was my last day at this new state, at the new city I moved to, at the station I love. And it's like, just say, like, I got fucking laid off and they're not even replacing me. They're syndicating the show. Like, I wish people, that's what I did when I got laid off. And yes, I'm still not working at radio, but guess what? These motherfuckers ain't gonna be working at radio no more. They're firing everyone, okay? It's going, not even AI. They're just going to syndicate Ryan Seacrest on every morning show. I wish people would stand up for themselves and be like, this isn't fair. This is what radio is meant for. This is not community building. You can't syndicate shows from all different cities. You can't have one guy in Portland going to San Francisco and Las Vegas, LA, Seattle. I'm trying to think. There's one guy doing fucking 400 afternoon shows, and it's insanity. I've been listening for a while, and you just keep saying random things. Trump said, explain with awful context, and then say it's something that's not. Well, like what? Trump said that it is an illegal boycott of Tesla, what's going on right now, of the Cybertruck. Which, if you know anything about boycotts, they're not illegal. If you choose, like, what was the other day? I'm trying to think. There's so many boycotts going on. But if you decided we're going to boycott, let's say, Starbucks, right? You said, nobody go to Starbucks this Friday. Could you imagine if the CEO came out and said, that's illegal. You have to buy our coffee every morning. Like, people would be like, what are you talking about? Like, part of America is boycott, protesting, activism. I think of the Tea Party, which, yes, the king tried to make that illegal. Martial law coming down. Lego Expo Verse. That's an interesting name. So what I'm trying to qualify is these powerful people all think alike. When people boycott, when advertisers boycotted Twitter, Elon said it's illegal to boycott. In fact, he sued them. When people are dumping Teslas because they don't want to support that Nazi, Trump is saying that's an illegal boycott. You have to buy, if you're going to buy a truck, you have to buy a Cybertruck, which that's just not how, number one, their free market works. But it's more of an infringement. It's the dangerous language and rhetoric of authoritarians, people who want absolute power, who are just, dangerous people. And I say this, and I try to bring attention to this, and I try to compare it, even though it's not apples to oranges with the people who protest on the right. But I try to bring this to people's attention because you might say, that's fine. I'm buying Tesla stock, or I'm buying the dip, or I'm going to buy a Cybertruck. But remember how finicky and what a man baby Trump is, and how he gets sand in his vagine. He gets sand in his panties so often, you just don't know which way the wind is blowing with him, and you don't know what sand is going to make him pivot and focus on something else. So my whole point is, like the great union saying, an injury to one is an injury to all. And we should really consider that among the working class. Meaning that even if you're like, well, I'm not selling my Cybertruck. Let's say you have a Cybertruck and you're like, I'm still supporting it, even though we know he's a white supremacist, Nazi, oppressor, right? A billionaire who should not exist. And he's en masse firing people from our government with no authority, right? Even if you still support that, you should be weary of a president calling boycotts and protests illegal. Because if he turns his attention and all of a sudden, let's say it's Legos, okay? Let's say Legos. Trump gets in an argument with, what is it, the Netherlands? Who makes Legos? I forget. One of them Nordic countries. Let's say Trump gets in an argument. The CEO of Lego, right, comes out and is like, you know what? F Trump, and we're not going to stay quiet. And Trump's like, that's it, Legos. We're going to make them illegal or if you buy Legos, it's going to be illegal if we see you buying Legos. And you're like, that's not American. That's not legit. So what I'm saying is, like, his attention is focused on the things that protect his power and wealth, but he has no morals. He has no ethical balance beam to walk on. Like, he has no character here. So it's really about who has offended him at what time, and it really should be concerning to you. Maybe you're right, but your argument isn't saying that someone is doing an illegal gambling site for what? I don't understand that. You said Trump said that calling one thing is illegal boycott means he said boycotting is illegal. Yes, he's calling it an illegal boycott, which it's not. It doesn't, like, there is no illegal boycott. There's illegal price fixing. There's no illegal boycott. If people, and the other thing that people don't understand is, like, when these pundits and Trump and say, like, it's an organized attack movement. It's like, just so you know how strikes work, how protests, how boycotts, how all of that works, you have to be organized. And you see the effects if it's not organized. When people just spread something online, they go, hey, Friday, don't buy shit. And it's not truly organized. It doesn't really have any effect. To make something like eradicate their wealth, to devastate their wealth, it has to be well organized, Or in this case, the funniest part about this is Elon is the best organizer there is right now. Because if he's doing Nazi salutes and he's lying a lot and people are fact checking him, and if he's laying lots of people off, you got to remember, like, the context, you got to remember that he's not in a vacuum. He's not doing nothing. Elon is not doing nothing and being like, why are people not buying Teslas? Why is my stock dumping? Like, this fucking baby victim mentality that Elon has is incredible, because you're like, bro, you're laying thousands of people off. You think if any of those thousands of people have Tesla stock right now, number one, they need some money. So they're probably like, out of all my stocks, I'll sell my Tesla. Number two, the ripple effect. When there are massive layoffs, the people laid off aren't the only ones affected. Their family, their friends. There's a lot of people that this comes into play for, right? And if they're all like, "Oh, Elon's doing this illegally," which a lot of these union jobs or, where he doesn't have authorization is being done illegally, and judges are putting in orders to reinstate, or they're trying to call people back. So just the mess of it, right? Imagine if you had the worst boss ever who just came in like a wrecking ball, like a Miley Cyrus, wrecking ball. Just came in, just fucking off the cuff, firing everyone, then calling some people back and then refiring other people. Like, the mess of Elon has organized people against him. That's why Trump is saying, "Oh, it's illegal. It's organized and illegal." Number one, it has to be organized, okay? But number two, Elon is organizing this boycott against himself. I mean, not just in America, worldwide. There are a lot of leaders now speaking out, being like, "We can't stand for this shit." They're like, we were in the thick of it. We didn't have an ocean surrounding, dividing us in World War II. We had to rebuild. Like, we remember that stuff very fondly. Or not very fondly, but we were real close to that. And there are more and more people saying, like, they're canceling Starlink, his internet service contracts, and they're standing up. And the thing is they have a right to do that. And it's funny because it's usually the Trumps, the Elons, the right-wing people who love to talk about the free market. And if you have a free market, that means you're free to not buy what you don't want to buy. So hopefully that explains a little more Lego exposure, and hopefully they don't come after your Legos. Boycotting is protesting. 100%. It's protesting with your money. He's going to try to make boycotting illegal. Yup. The Tesla board members have been selling Tesla stocks for weeks. Oh, I believe that. Ooh, I should look that up. I bet you they are. They're probably dumping too. They need to get some liquidity. They need to get some cash. But none of this is normal. This is not normal. And I don't mean, like, I don't care what the stock market does. I don't give a shit. I'm a working person. The stocks I have are not my passive income, just like most of the people that this will reach. Even if you own stocks, you're not working because of the passive income on your stocks. It's just, most of the world is not like that. Most of the people who invest in the stock market are not going to work because of their passive income. It's just not, you know what I mean? Like, you can look up who owns. I've been doing this lately. I keep looking up who owns what companies, and everything just ties back to BlackRock. It's been depressing. Battery dying. Bye. Oh, Kathy, good to see you. Good to see you. I'm glad you got to stop by. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Love it when Kathy joins in. It's always good to have another masshole here. But the stuff I'm talking about that's not normal is like the picking fights with Canada. His first term, we got to endure all sorts of lies. Wind turbines cause cancer. I can't even keep up with all the stuff that he lied about. But I'm just talking about, like, the personal relationships. That's where I'm like, are people really still like, yeah, this is pretty cool? Because a lot of the time it's either bullying on display, which we witnessed his first term, but now it's like bullying people who were just like standing on the sidelines. That's where it's like, I think people can wrap their head around, like, if people criticize Trump supporters wanted him to bully those people, to try to get them to never question him again. And I felt like it emboldened the MAGA cultists. They were like, yes, see what happens if you talk back. Like, they loved that. They thought that was like heroic and macho. But now we're witnessing a whole new line of bullying where Trump's like, yo, Canada, go fuck yourself. Canada's like, I thought we were cool, man. And he's like, I'm starting fights everywhere. It's like a drunk guy at a bar who just got his ass whooped. And before the bouncer can get him out, he's like swinging at women. He's trying to throw a chair. And you're just like, please get this dude out of here. And that's what's going down. Like, this is very not normal. And the fact that people keep interviewing Elon Musk for him to be like, if I hear that he's fucking working for free one more time, I'll send him to Mars myself. And I would have to build a rocket ship. I mean, it'd take me a long time. But Elon is not working for free. If you suckers think that he is doing anything out of the goodness of his heart, you are fucking being taken for, okay? He is strategic in his consolidation. Like, think about who he laid off first. He went right after all the bureaus, all the departments that were investigating his companies. Because he figured, oh, I'll get wealthier if there's less regulations, less government intervention. And you're not a business owner. And if you are, you're not worried at the level he is. Remember, he's exploding rockets over the world. So there are government departments that feel responsibility to the civilians and the people of Earth that are like, oh, what if that hits somebody? That's why he's, strategically attacking certain things. Because he figures, if I'm not impeded and I can have taxpayer money and I can have all the contracts. He went in and got rid of a Verizon contract that was supposed to be, billions of dollars worth, and tried to put his Starlink in there. If you think that doesn't make him money, then I fucking hate to break it to you. You're a sucker. I don't know else, because I don't want to think people are suckers, because I would like for them to understand, like, oh, well, all the Dodge bros, we got their salaries. They're getting the highest paid salaries in the government, $200,000 a year. But I mean, if you think Elon is doing this just out of the good of his heart, and people keep saying, these Fox pundits and other people keep repeating, like, oh, he's doing it and not getting paid. He is. He might not be taking a salary, but he's getting paid through contracts with the government. And that's our taxpayer money. Like, this dude is clearly positioning himself to make even more money. And that's why it's fucking hilarious that they've lost $200 billion worth of money. I mean, it's pocket change for them. It's really nothing for them. But it is fucking hilarious. Keep going, everybody. Good job. We could do it. We are at the node. I don't know what the node is, but I bet we are there. Trump is cutting us off from our friends. I'm tired of being in this horrible relationship. CJ, well, that's why I'm like, any normal anyone, it doesn't matter if you're a MAGA cultist, it doesn't matter if you have Stockholm syndrome with Elon Musk and you just, maybe you're one of his kids. No, his kids are fucking cool. Did you see what his daughter Vivian said? She said, was it on Twitter or Blue Sky? I don't know. But one of her posts, I try to read all her posts. She's fantastic. I believe it's Vivian. Forgive me if I mess this stuff up. I'm not great with like names and all that. But Elon's daughter, I believe, that he disowned or whatever, very fractioned relationship. She came out and said Elon has tried to, she was like, I was assigned male sex at birth because he does all his pregnancies through IVF so he can pay to have all of his kids be male. This is what his daughter is claiming. And it's incredible. But it also makes so much sense, because a guy like that with 13 kids who acts like he's never been laid, like, now the math is mathing. You know what I mean? Because he acts like he's never been laid. You can tell it was all science with him. But that's what this feels like. It feels like a horrible relationship. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Like, you wouldn't act like this with people that you were doing business with. Maybe some of you would. I can't imagine your business would last too long. But imagine just starting a fight with a company across the street and literally, like, holding a press conference and being like, we're fucking going after them. We're going to put your company into the ground. It's like, who acts like that? Trump does on the world stage. It's really beyond me that more people aren't like, this is a little unbecoming. I was all for when he was bullying reporters and stuff, people that were questioning him. But now we're just like going after Canada, the nicest country in the history of countries. Like, is there a nicer country? Canada is no. I worked with a Canadian. And God, I love him. I keep thinking, I got to call him. Because that's the other thing about Canadians. You think Americans love America. Canadians love Canada. And I don't blame them. Beautiful fucking outdoors. They got moose. They love their hockey. That one, whatever. But they have healthcare, a society that's not entrenched in you know, trying to erode human rights as the U.S. By the way, yesterday I didn't talk about it, but Civicus, they put us on a watch list. The U.S. is on a watch list now. You can see it in my description from yesterday, the link in my description yesterday. We're on a watch list of the top countries that is potentially eroding human rights. America is. The company we're with on that list, I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. SpaceX is way overvalued Yeah, way overvalued. But the reason they can keep floating and exploding stuff is because he's got so many government contracts, billions of dollars funded by us, the taxpayers, which is ironic because that dude don't want to pay taxes, and his taxes would go to fund his rocket explosions. My God. All right, so listen, none of this is normal, but you can do your part. Number one, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Number two, I mean this. It sounds dumb, but if you're going to buy a movie or rent a movie this weekend, don't do it through Amazon. You know, do it through, I mean, you don't have many options. That's the thing. The free market really isn't free. There's like 4 companies that just have different branding. But I mean, just be conscious of where you're buying stuff. I always say this one, and I know it's small and it's dumb, but I always buy books off eBay from small sellers. You know, they don't have a stock of books. They have 1 or 2 in good or very good condition. You know, like, and I know it's small, but you're going to feel better knowing your money isn't going to fund your own oppression. Sometimes it is, and sometimes you don't have a choice. But when you do have a choice, I highly encourage you to be an activist in those ways. Maybe you can't go to a protest. Maybe you can't. I'm like, man, I love when people are like, boycott Tesla. I'm like, I've been doing that my whole life. I'm actually a professional at boycotting Tesla. In fact, I've never bought a Tesla, and I've never bought Tesla stock. So I'm pretty much a pro. I'm pretty much like top tier Tesla boycotter because, you know, I've never done it. I've never bought any of their things. Elon, biggest welfare queen in Texas. And that is saying a lot. They got Ted Cruz. That dude, the country, the state of Texas froze, and Ted Cruz was like, I'm dipping to Cancun. They got some scumbags down there. Joe Rogan moved there. It's the new douchebag capital of the world, Texas. Really, it is. It really is. And that's no offense. There are some awesome people. My old roommate from Dallas, I love some Texas people. King of the Hill, great show. But the migration as of late with Joe Rogan, Elon Musk, they're going there for a reason, and it's becoming that douche bro mecca. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. Oh, there is some fun news. You know, did you see Twitter was cyber attacked? They went down 3 times yesterday. I didn't witness any of it. I'm trying to stay off there. But I've been calling for this. There's a hacker group called Dark Storm that is claiming that they're the ones that did it. Solidarity. It's amazing. I've always said, you know, this world, ever since I seen that Angelina Jolie movie, Hackers, a long time ago, I thought, whoever can do that can really make some power shifts in this world. So I applaud you, hackers. Be a force for good. Alyssa, what's going on? Good to see you. I'm glad you got to stop by. I'm wrapping up right now. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can join me. I'm Rob. I do news commentary every single weekday. Oh, and by the way, before I go, I got to do this again. I did it at the beginning. And this is more personal. Sometimes I'll talk personal stuff. But if my youngest brother, I haven't seen him in about 10 years. He'd been homeless for about 10 years. And me and my middle brother, didn't know if he was alive or what. You know, you always hold out hope for the best, but you're not ever sure, especially somebody being homeless for a decade. Like, you want to talk about survivalists? My youngest brother, man, God bless him. And God, I miss him, but we didn't know if he was alive or not. And last night I got a call. I didn't pick it up. And it was from let's just say a place where they hold you in a cell. And it was his voice when he was trying to get the approval, because you got to say, I'll take the charges for the call. And it was the first time I heard my brother's voice in 10 years. And I cried. I don't want to do it right now, so I'm not going to talk too much more about it. But I say that because I don't know how he called me, or if I've said on this live stream before that if anybody knows where he is, or if somehow he can get the feed to this or watch this later, please call me back, bro. I promise you, I turned my ringer on last night. I stay up late. I'll do whatever I can do. Please, Kahuna, if you can hear this, if somebody can relay this to you, call me back. I'll accept the charges. I just want to hear your voice. I miss you. We love you. We want to hear from you. So please call me back, bro. Please. I'm devastated I missed that call. But it was it was an overflow of emotion knowing that my youngest brother is still alive after being homeless for 10 years and that he's safe. You know, he's safe and alive. So please, Kahuna, call me back. Please, 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 please. We need to get in touch. We need to know you're safe, that you're alive. Come home, bro. Come home. So I just had to do that again because I've mentioned it. I've said it. You know, if my brother can see this, please call. And not in a million years did I ever think he would call, and he did last night. So it's a miracle. Miracles happen every day. Emily. You're the only one that knows out of anybody that is my family. I haven't told anybody else yet, so. Well, besides, you know, my other brother. I texted him right away. I sent him the message. But it's just so overwhelming that... And I didn't get to talk to him, so I don't know what to say or if I should say anything. So, just keep it between us for right now. But he's alive. Please, Kahuna, call back. I need to talk to you. We need to find out where you are, what you're doing, what's going on. But yeah, I'm hoping he calls back, because once I get in touch with him and I can hear from him and I know what's going on, then maybe we can fill the family in. But Al, please call. Come on, Kahuna. All right, that's all for today. Good to see you. I love you. I miss you. I hope you're doing well. And everybody, just hold tight. You know, things are tough, but we're pushing. Every day I'm doing this live stream, every weekday. Bringing attention, bringing awareness. Go watch Gary's Economics. Do your part and never stay silent. I love the article the other day in the EU that came out. It said, at this point, silence is complicity, folks. So speak out, you know, build community, meet your neighbors, talk with people. You know, the more awareness we can have, the better movement we can build. So thank you, CJ. And good to see you, CJ. I'm so glad you were in the live. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Peace.